Hello, guys. So we're just getting started. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the new members as well, or to the new subscribers as well. There's been a lot of action on Instagram for me this week, for all of us, as many and many more souls come online. It's a very exciting time. This unprecedented shift that we're all experiencing. So I want to welcome everyone. If you're new, if you've never seen me on YouTube before, hi. I also want to mention that I have tons of content to assist with your ascension process. The message has been consistent. It's always been the same. It's just that we tackle it from different angles, that's all. But my message has always been consistent, so I highly encourage everyone to revisit old videos because you may find answers in there that you're looking for. So I'm cozied up right now. I'm in my PJs. I just feel super comfortable. And I've been communicating with the Arcturians all morning. I think you guys know that I've been in contact with a group of ETs since last week, well, since I was 22, but it's just been officialized, or the connection's never been stronger as it's been. I definitely feel like I'm in an alternative reality. I've been feeling like that since my contact experience. Like I'm on a different version of Earth, if you will. And the messages are incessant. They don't stop. It's like a faucet that's turned on and it is drip, 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 drip. I've also been getting a lot of sleep, as I'm sure many of you have as well. And that's because we are being inundated with galactic, cosmic energies that will shut your body down so that your physicality, so that your energetic structure can go through this enormous reconfiguration and reattunement, or I want to say restructuring phase. So everything, all the hierarchies that you were holding in your system, everything that belonged to an older paradigm, which wasn't a bad paradigm, it's just that we've outgrown it. All of that is being restructured. And first it has to completely dismantle, if you will, because we're not going to be playing in that game of the hierarchies anymore. Right? There's not going to be one prophet on this planet. We're all the prophets, and we're starting to remember that we are light beings that originate from source, and that we descended upon this plane of existence to all partake in this grand awakening. It's just that a lot of us got lost in the shuffle. We forgot who we were, and this is all happening so that we can remind each other that we're here as a team, that we are the ground crew, that we are the emissaries of light, that sometimes the beings who are assisting us now from the non-physical, they become incarnate, and then we stay behind to help them from there. So I was going to pre-record this, but I thought it was fitting, given I'm kind of like your galactic reporter lately, to come online and share with you the conversation I had this morning with the Arcturians. I don't want to only limit it to the Arcturians, that's my experience, but you may be having conversations with future aspects of who you are that have already graduated, that have already ascended, if you will, and they're communicating with you from the future. So I thought, why not call this a message from the future? I think that's really fitting because it is a message from the future. I'm about to give you a download that will make you understand what all of this is about, how it pertains to humanity right now, but also I'm going to give you messages that will still be relevant in 200 years from now, okay? Because again, the guides, they understand that this is a process that happens in increments. It cannot happen overnight. It cannot happen overnight. So I'm going to be giving you messages that will still be relevant in 200 years from now. Okay? So I'm not doing that to toot my own horn. I'm telling you that I have intel that I need to share with you all so that you all can also call your power back in. And I'm here to jog your memory. I'm here to help crystallize your mind so that you can reconnect and plug yourself into this divine knowingness of where you came from. Okay? So some would say, well, are these messages coming from God? Yes, because everything is God. God is in everything. But how I see it is like God is the all that is. And as soon as God decided that God wanted to have an experience, it had to move its energy. So the Arcturians are like offshoots. The Pleiadians are offshoot of that energy. We are all aspects of God because we're in motion. And when we come from a mean place, there's going to be someone who comes from a kind place, because anything that's in motion has a counterpart. Everything that's in motion. I have so much I want to share with you guys because I've been getting so many downloads all week, but I'm going to stick to the topic today, okay? Of what I received this morning. So, this coronavirus, and wow, we have 1,000 people in the house. This coronavirus is, and thank you for the donations, I really appreciate it, is a grand gathering of all the ancient souls that are us, that are also guided by the elders, that are also guided by star beings, Pleiadians, Andromedans, Arcturians. We are these ancient souls who decided to become encased within this physical body as a means to lend our frequency to this current time-space continuum so that all beings could also be uplifted and remember, and then we would unify as we have in the past in Atlantis or Lemuria, but that we would move into a whole new threshold of evolution. Okay? So why are there beings assisting us? Because every being has an agenda. So that's something you need to keep in mind. It's not a negative agenda. Everything is God, including the darkness. Okay? So everything that we interact with, everything that we encounter, every message we receive from within is another consciousness that also wants to evolve itself and progress itself. So the reason why these star beings are here with us to support us and to speed up the process, if you will, is because their vested interest is that if we grow, they grow. Okay? I'm going to share something really briefly that I think is really important just for now. The universe that we know is not the only universe. The universe that we're a part of, that the Andromedans are a part of, that the angels, that the Arcturians are a part of, this universe also wants to grow. It wants to move into another universe. All right. So if you can imagine that this universe has a potential that it hasn't been able to physicalize yet. It's a potential that it can interact with, right? Like I can interact with future aspects of myself that don't eat food anymore because they're so elevated, but they are me. They are me. It's just that I'm in this bubble of biology. And in order to be in this bubble of biology, I need to have a human body like everyone else. So we can always interface with different aspects that are aspects of God that are all part of a greater network. And what would the end goal be if, even though there is no end? The end goal for this universe, meaning in order for this universe to upgrade itself into its unformed potential, would be to have every being in this entire universe become one. Not only the human species, but here's the thing. If the humans can become at one with each other, then it's a victory. It's a galactic victory. Okay? Why? Because humans have 22 chromosomes, all belonging to different star systems and different star races. So within you, you have Draconian, you have Sirian, you have Angelic, you have Pleiadian, you have Orion, you have all these different star systems, these star races that you can connect with telepathically because they are a part of you. They're a part of the cosmos. And we are like the peacemakers, right? We are bringing the peace to all of these star races. If we can start to connect, remember, and unify from within and start living in harmony, then we've pieced everything together, meaning we've solved the puzzle. And once we solve the puzzle, okay, the universe, the Godhead, the universe, can finally go into the next universe. Okay? So for instance, you at a personal level, you have all these visions for your future. And I'm talking about your physical future. You have all these different things that you want to achieve, right? You can connect with all those different visions and know that it's already happened. But in this physical time-space continuum, it hasn't happened yet. So you won't be satisfied until it happens physically. But in order for that to happen physically, you need to kind of pull together all these different ingredients, if that makes sense. You need to pull together all these ingredients, have them work in harmony or in cooperation, and only then would you land on the timeline where that thing that you're wanting becomes manifest physically. So same thing for the universe. So when you hear as above, so below, that's what it means. The universe can already interact with the other universe, okay? Just like we can already interact with the Andromedans, we can already interact with the Arcturians, we can interact with all these different beings, but we can't become them until we finish our mission on Earth, because we're here for a mission. So there's never any need to try to run from this reality, because even if you become an Arcturian, there's still going to be a regressive energy on Earth. Think of it as a cancer, a virus, right? The coronavirus, but it's not the coronavirus. It's a grander virus, and we're going to touch on that in a minute. It's a grander virus that has to be rectified. Think of it as a distortion. So if you can think of God as having this cosmic body, God is the cosmic body. Within God, there is like this, and I don't want to say it's God, it sounds horrible, but just stick with me. Within the cosmic body, they were able to locate a distortion that causes a regression. So every other being in the universe has to continually come back, which equates to a regression, to teach humanity, just like I might be teaching you now, or just like someone else might be teaching you there on another channel. We're coming back, like I'm sharing something I already know. So if I was on a, this is really, really complicated, but I want to try my best to explain this. If we were all meant to just progress, meaning upward spiral, I wouldn't be on YouTube right now, because I've already got my intel. But the thing is, I can't just drop everything and say I'm not going to teach anymore and I'm going to become an Arcturian, because even if I become an Arcturian, I'm going to come back because humanity has to be recovered. All of humanity has to be recovered. And every other being in this universe is dealing with this regressive energy. Every being. Do you guys know what I mean by regressive energy? A regressive energy is a course correction that needs to be made because it's stalling every other being in this galaxy. It's also stalling the universe from moving into another universe. So I don't want to bend your mind or twist it like a pretzel too much, but I just want you to get the overall concept. It doesn't matter if you say you want to go home. If you go back to the Pleiades, all the Pleiadians are working with humanity, because if humanity succeeds in resolving this virus or this distortion, which is rooted in control, manipulation, domination, then all of them can ascend, including humanity. Okay. That's not the message I got today, but I wanted to preface with that. Home is inside. Home is a potential that we need to connect to from within until it is physically reflected back to us within this dimension. Okay? So until the wars end, until people stop bashing each other, until we stop condemning each other, you can be the most elevated being in the world. It doesn't matter, because you're still going to come back, because every other person is a part of you. And God, Source, wants to recover every human being, which aren't really human beings, okay? They are souls They are light beings who came in with an assignment to resolve all of this conflicting energy within the DNA in order to enable the DNA to unify, all these star races to unify, so that we can become a galactic society. So you are not really human, okay? You are a conglomerate of many races that are working together with humanity right now at this time to bring resolution to the separation, meaning to unify that separation, to clear that separation through integration of what you don't like, meaning if someone irritates you, if someone triggers you, that trigger is something you have to integrate, because getting reactionary is never going to solve the issue. It's an energy that needs to be rectified from within. So we have this quote unquote distortion within all of us. I do too. Okay. My guides ask me to do things sometimes and I don't do them. I don't. But I'm doing my due diligence every day to clear some of that distortive energy within me, because it's not really my energy. It's our energy. We are all responsible for this. We are all creators of the insanity that you're witnessing on this world. All of us. No one is exempt. No one. Okay? So you can blame your president all you want. You can blame governments all you want. Things cannot become materialized unless humans agree to them. You cannot have a client sign a contract or buy packages or sessions with you unless there's an agreement. That's how things get materialized. There has to be an agreement. Always. So we can't blame the politicians. We can't blame the government. We have to go within ourselves, because everything is based on energy. Everything you see around you is founded on frequency. A frequency that we were dwelling at, meaning a level of consciousness that we were dwelling at that we're outgrowing now. And it's not really so much that we're outgrowing it. It's more so that we forgot that we were 12-dimensional beings, okay? Had we remembered, we wouldn't have created this world. But because we forgot who we were, we created an entire reality based upon the level of consciousness that we were operating within. And that became the solid reality that you see. It became the Bank of America. It became the police. It became this. It became that. Because we could not think for ourselves. We could not think for it. Why? Because when a God's child, one of God's children, which is still God's child, when God dispersed itself, it started firing off different frequencies. Those frequencies have a mind of their own. Okay, when you meditate, or when you have an idea for a business that you want to launch, that idea already existed before you. It just wants to be fed by you so that it can go on its own trajectory. And you might be a part of hatching it. You might be a part of spitting it into this physical realm. But oftentimes people receive ideas, brilliant, ingenious ideas, that are not necessarily meant for them, okay? But because they didn't have the discernment, they thought it was. So they started feeding it, and it grew, and then it went where it wanted to go. And it wasn't to that person. So that person still helped because it gave it energy, it expanded that consciousness. Same thing happened with God. God split off, stayed behind, obviously, right? The universe is counting on us right now to resolve all of this. It can't do it for us because it too wants to evolve. It wants to go to another universe. So when God dispersed its energy, there were energies that took on a mind of their own. They had their own agenda. Some of them wanted to turn humans into puppets. Some of them wanted to mind control humans. They wanted to tamper with your DNA, and they did it successfully. So what they did is they turned us against one another. They turned us against one another, And they started using things like veganism, this, that, so that we can remain in separation. Okay? All of the veganism stuff, all of that will take care of itself. All of it. Especially if someone is doing it from within, meaning that they're rectifying that energy from within them. This is not about going out, not all negatively polarized. They're not. But that reptilian energy of wanting other people to do what you do is in direct proportion to that other consciousness that's extraterrestrial, right? That reptilian energy that wanted us to do what they wanted us to do. I'm getting that now. Do you see the correlations? There was a group of extraterrestrials that wanted to turn humanity against one another. So they started convincing us that judging each other is going to be the answer. Oh, he smokes, he's disgusting. Oh, he drinks, he has a drinking problem, right? We started sticking our nose in other people's business. That's a regressive energy. It's not a progressive energy. A lot of times people smoke and drink because of this regressive energy. So you're not actually helping the case if you're one of them. Now, we all have these reptilian aspects, and a lot of them actually have become my friends because I understood how they needed to counter another energy in order to create balance. Okay? They showed me that they want to counter another energy in the universe in order to create balance. The reason why I don't judge people who smoke, the reason why I don't judge people who drink, the reason why I don't judge anything in my life, nothing. I wouldn't even judge incest. I wouldn't even judge someone who kills. The reason for that is because a lot of people are trapped in a biology, in a physical body that holds so many Akashic records from ancestors from thousands of years ago. Okay? And sometimes they can't control it. They can't. So hate is not the answer. Hate is only going to fan the flames. Hate is only going to aggravate it. Okay, you're aggravating their demons. Love is going to melt away the hate. Love. That's why I don't judge people, because there are things that I know I'm going to be doing in my future because I've already seen my future. And I want to say that I'm rehabilitating myself now. I'm clearing some of those energy imprints gradually. You don't want to do it too fast, because as you do it gradually, you're actually fanning out a recipe for other people who need to go through that gradual process too. I know I'm sharing a lot, but when you deal with something bit by bit by bit by bit, you're fanning out. It's like a fan that spreads that energy. You're fanning out that recipe for other people who are struggling with something. And most people are not going to jump from point A to point Z. If you can do that, great. I know that I can do that, but it's a choice not to do it. I'm choosing not to do it because I see the value in sharing the A, B, C, D, E's, and the F's, and the G's, and the H's. I see that. And if I tell someone, hey, I quit the gym overnight and I've decided to not eat food anymore, come with me, no one's going to do it. No one's going to do it. So the guides know that. There's a law of relativity involved. Planet Earth doesn't vibrate at the same speed as these other star systems that are light years ahead of us. It just doesn't. So they know that even though to us this coronavirus is like a huge, ginormous deal, in the grand scheme of things, it's a tiny speck that's really significant. But in the grand scheme of things, we're serving an energy right now that isn't going to go away overnight. In 300 years from now, there will still be people who go to the gym and who refuse to quit going to the gym. So that energy will still be there. It's a regressive energy. And I'm going to get into the next thing. Let's segue into the next thing. Okay, so the Arcturians. And they wanted me to share this message because even though they're not asking you to go all the way now, with what I'm about to share, they're not asking you to do that. If you feel called or if you feel inspired, then by all means, go for it. But that's not what they're saying by any stretch. They want to just share you this information with you. They want to impart this information onto you so that you can understand where we're headed as a human race. Okay? Gyms are closing down right now. In LA, all the gyms are shut down. Restaurants are shutting down. They've already shut down. So what's happening is, witness the people in your life who are like, oh my God, what am I going to do about the gym? I'm freaking out. Okay, so we're not talking about the coronavirus anymore. We're talking about the coronavirus being a catalyst to energy that's been suppressed for a long time because people have become highly addicted to things like the gym, to restaurants, to their phones. They've become highly addicted to these things because that's where they derive their own value. All right? That's why I love Sam Smith as a gay man, because I'm a gay man. I love Sam Smith because he's going on social media with his belly and he's flaunting it and he's loving himself. So if Sam Smith sees this, I love you, brother. And I thank you for what you're doing because you're loving yourself, even though you probably don't really love your body. And that's how I live my life. Do I love the fact that I'm not a full-on vegan? No. But I'm not going to fight that. I'm going to love myself through it. Do you see? Because I have my own gifts and my own skill set that I bring to humanity. But humanity also has to raise its frequency because I might need support too. Do you understand? So we all have our different strengths and our different weaknesses. Someone might say to me, Phil is not elevated. He's full of shit. He's not even a vegan. And I would say, you know what? I'm like you. I'm a human. I'm a human who happens to be really connected on a multidimensional level. And I can bring this information forward. And I myself don't like what they tell me. But am I willing? Yes, I'm willing. I'm always willing. But I'm going to take it step by step because I love myself. I love myself. So that's why it really bothers me when people say, oh, you can't be a spiritual person if you're not vegan. Well, I could say to you, well, I get it, but I'm meditating 4 hours a day. Are you doing that? No, but I'm not going to judge you for it. But it's thanks to my meditation that I'm able to retrieve this information. So we all have different gifts, you see? And the guides don't want you to become vegan right now. They want you to do what resonates with your soul. So I want to be adamantly clear, never to do something that's uncomfortable or that doesn't feel natural. Because the entire purpose of this video is getting back to nature, getting back to our natural selves. Okay? And I'll expand further on that. Your guides want you to focus on the energy. Forget the trends. 1 minute coconut water is popular, the next it's not. 1 minute alkaline water is popular, 1 minute it's not. These guides come from the future. They're trying to say to you, we don't even eat food. We don't even eat plants. We sustain ourselves on our breath, which I do a lot too because I hardly eat. I rarely eat. What I do is work with my Kundalini. I shift myself to a plasmic state and then I get my nutrients from these different realms. Okay? So that's where we're headed as a society. But they're not expecting you to do it now. So don't castigate yourself if you still eat meat. I will say though, try to eat organic chicken because you don't want to support the industries that pump them with antibiotics and that treat them like dirt. You don't want to do that. But if we can start moving in that direction, that's like 2 thumbs up. You understand? 2 thumbs up. What the guides want us to focus on, what they want us to focus on is the basis, the foundation that created this world. It was energy. It wasn't what you did or what you ate or what you drank. It's how you respond to other people who do things that you may not agree with, that you're trying to control. because the controlling forces on this planet have lost their grip. And these higher beings are coming in to say, this is our window to come together and remind each other that we are love incarnate and that we're here to walk each other back home, which is a frequency. It's a frequency. It's not what you eat. It's not what your diet is. It's not how many green juices you drink a day. That was kind of funny. Come on. So, okay. Okay, so all right, so now let's get I want to get into the potatoes of this message. So all right, so as I was on Facebook today and I saw everyone posting about, oh my God, I'm freaking out, what am I going to do for exercise? I want you to feel into that energy, the blockage of like, what would I do without the gym? What would I do without the restaurant? What would I do without a phone? That's the energy that we're rectifying. Okay? The beings I work with said to me today, they said, working out, and I work out, and I've even told them I'm not sure I'm ready to give that up just yet. Okay? And they said it's fine because again, even if you were to give up your job, even if you were to give up working as a teacher, you would become a Pleiadian and come back to Earth anyways to help the humans. You get what I'm saying? Do you see how it ties in together? You see how these things tie in together? So there's no rush. If you transform yourself, if you ascend, if you leave everything, if I decide today I'm never going on social media again, I'm never using my phone again, I'm going to upward spiral into another star system, but that star system is working overtime to come back to help humanity. They're kind of like time travelers. A lot of us are time travelers. We're the ground crew to help rectify this virus, which is an energetic virus. So there's no rush. There's no rush. So I told them, I don't know if I'm ready to let go of the gym. They're like, it's fine. We just want you to be willing. That's all they want from you. Be willing and be okay without the gym. Be okay without anything. This is about sustaining ourselves energetically. This is about coming back to our natural selves. They even jokingly said, it really took the coronavirus to get you guys' attention to go back into nature. And guess who went into nature this morning? Me. Right? We get so distanced, so removed from the gifts of life, like nature, like the wind, like the birds chirping away. And we get wrapped up in our phones and we get wrapped up in the gym and we want to keep achieving and achieving and achieving and achieving. And it's a road to nowhere. Honestly, it is, because all that does, all right, and stick with me here, all that does is it creates more timelines, right? More timelines, which from the cosmos vantage point are more regressive. So the rat race, the hamster wheels, it creates more timelines. Now there's Orange Theory, now there's CrossFit, now there's this, now there's a new diet, now there's this, now there's that. So what that does is it creates all these different branches, millions of them, which are regressive in nature. Are you following? They're regressive in nature. So they even showed me that the gym came about relative to a level of consciousness that we used to have as soldiers, because we were constantly fending for ourselves or fighting off people. So if you look at the gym, like even myself, when I go to the gym, it's kind of like a soldier thing to do. Like, oh, I need to gear myself up for my day because who knows what's going to happen. Or I need to be strong in case someone messes with me. So they were showing me that the gym is like an old thing. Like we won't need that in the future. And this is coming from someone who goes to the gym a lot. All right. But I get it. And I'm on board. I'm on board. That's why I'm okay with this. I'm going to pull out a yoga mat tomorrow and I'm just going to stretch at home and see how that happens. Because I've never done that. And I've always been curious, like what would happen if I got in touch with my body and did all these stretches and allowed myself to get taken over by my higher self. And I already do it to some degree at the gym, but I want to take it a step further now. So just for a minute, I want to paint the picture. You see people going to the gym, rah, rah, rah. That's like a soldier thing to do, which means that it belongs to a paradigm where we're still warring with each other, where we're still fighting each other, where we're still protecting each other, where we're having to be strong because we're depending on some physical strength rather than our hearts. Do you get the gist of this? So they were telling me that we're going to have to start really relinquishing our control and start taking advantage of the waters, like go swim, get energized by the sun, go for a nice leisurely walk in nature. Is your body going to change? Yes, it's going to change. If you go vegan, is your body going to change? Yes, it's going to change. But that's okay because you're going to be more beautiful from the inside out. I'm talking in the future. So from their perspective, eating anything is like regressive. Okay? So even if you're eating plants, that's regressive. But it needs to happen because we need to sustain this biology that has these blood types and all these ancestral imprints. We need to sustain our biology as we ascend, which is why they impressed upon me there's no rush. All right? The worst thing you could do is force yourself to become a vegan. The worst thing you could do is force yourself to quit the gym if that's not in alignment with you right now. Because if you're not in alignment, then you're actually going to throw the entire universe off. Anything you do that is misaligned is kind of going rogue. So when you go rogue, you're actually hurting the universe more than you're helping the universe. Which is why, the main teaching is stop judging people. Because whenever you judge people, you're not in your alignment anymore. You're not. You've wobbled yourself out of your stool. You've knocked yourself out of your center. So that's never going to fix the planet. How you're going to fix the planet is if you eat meat, okay, give thanks for that dinner. Don't just take it for granted and acknowledge that life because that life went through a lot and it landed on your plate. Are you the killer? No. If someone tells you that you killed that chicken, that's a form of manipulation too. That's someone who's been hijacked. Just because you eat chicken doesn't mean you killed it. All right? Just because you bury a child doesn't mean that you killed that child. It means you're acknowledging that life. You're giving thanks for that life and you're saying, you know what? You matter and you're already dead, but I'm going to honor you because in spirit you're still alive and I want to connect to you right now. So the answer is never to force yourself into anything, but rather bring more awareness to what you're doing, right? Judging other people is a perfect example. You see someone smoking a cigarette, you just have to bring more awareness to the thought that wants to judge them. And then don't judge them. That's it. And you're illuminating your mind. You're shining a light on all these different reptilian aspects within you. And you're actually giving these reptilian energies a chance to ascend as well. Because some of them are good and some of them are not good, but that's all dualistic. The guides keep emphasizing that it's not about these beings. It's about us. We are those beings. We have access to all these dimensions, every single one of them. We are the universe's hope, if that makes sense. If we come together, if we unify, if we unite, there will be a major revolution. And it's happening now, but there are still a lot of, there's a bulk of energies that even after the coronavirus will not be resolved. What is that energy? is that part of you that says, oh my God, what about the gym? You're still hanging on to something. Okay? They also showed me that humans are acting very uncivilized during this time. Like running to the grocery store and not leaving water for your brother or sister to grab as well, a stranger. My the entire human race is my brother and sister. I'm not going to grab 10 bottles of water because I don't want my brother or sister to starve or to not have something to drink. So we're very uncivilized. We have a long way to go. Long way to go. And I'm keeping it real with you right now because this is really important information. It's not just about the coronavirus. This is about an energy that we're being called to eliminate that lives within us. It's an agreement that we made with reality that kept us enslaved to our own thoughts. To our own thoughts. We forgot how genius we were. We forgot that we came here to help the planet rather than like being sent into this crazy panic and being so uncivilized. So if you can't go to the gym, I want you to pour more love and acceptance into yourself. I want you to go check out Sam Smith's Instagram. That's what I want you to do. We bring love to the dark. We bring love to the dark. Even when I work out, I'm always bringing love to the dark. That's why I haven't stopped working out, because I have an ability to be spiritually attuned and bring love to every aspect of my body. Do I think that my guides are asking me to eventually give up the gym altogether? Yes. And I can readily admit that. I can admit it. I don't shift things up enough. We need to shift things up. We need to try yoga. We need to try working with our natural body. Could you imagine how powerful and empowering it would be if we all came together and we said, hey, so let's just use our bodies. What can we come up with? Or maybe let's just go for a walk. Or maybe let's just stretch for 10 minutes. It would be a whole different scenario. But right now, everyone's clinging on to their habitual patterns. And that habitual pattern is where that energy that is regressive lies. So if you guys get this, and if you're a willing contender in this game, then you're 75% there, 90% there. All it takes is willingness. See, deep down in my soul, if something happened tomorrow and I lost my job, or I couldn't serve you guys anymore, or if my bank account was completely wiped, or if I could never go to a gym again, I can honestly, sincerely say that I would be fine. I would be fine. Would I maybe feel it for like half a minute? Yes, but I've already prepared myself for all of that. I have a willingness inside of me. It's like this built-in mechanism that we all have. We just have to be willing to connect to it more frequently. More frequently. So when everything is restored, because it will be, this is just temporary, this whole coronavirus is just temporary. When everything goes back to normal, what changes will you make? Are you going to give yourself permission to rest and not go to the gym? Are you going to try to something new, maybe? Travel somewhere you've never traveled before? Are you going to be kinder to people around you? That's what they want you to start bringing your attention to. Because everyone is addicted to something. And the key is to still use these devices, knowing that we're okay without them. And that we will use them as long as we're meant to serve. Because they do serve. We're disseminating energy or information like we never have before. So they do serve, but it's a delicate balance that you have to find. You know, I'm on social media. You guys see me posting a lot, but think about it. Every video is like 7-8 minutes. There's 24 hours in a day. I'm not doing social media all day. I'm out in nature. I'm talking to God. I'm meditating. It's not my life. So keep that in mind. There's a personal ascension piece here. If you're not ascending yourself, if you're not nurturing yourself, then you're of no use to the collective, because you have to be a walking, living, leading example of what you're preaching. You do. You do. And you may not be all the way there. Like, I'm not a breatharian. I'm not the Arcturian yet, but I am on a different timeline because I'm in contact with him and with them. So my true self doesn't eat or drink, but my true self is also true in this body, you see? We just have to start connecting to these different aspects and try to make little improvements every day. Just try to make little strides every day, even if it's something teeny weeny. There's a willingness to try something different, okay? So that's my message for today. I love you guys. And, okay, good. Good, we did good. Thank you for the donations. I'm sorry I didn't tend to them as much this time, but I love you, Carrie, and everyone else who donated. I needed to come through with these messages, and I will speak to you soon. And if you'd like to donate, my link is below, feelgoodlife.com/donate, feelgoodlife.com/donate. And please leave some water for your brothers and sisters. Like, come on, people, let's not hog it all. We're all part of the one. I love you guys, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.